Breaking news: Falcons GM Terry Fontano shakes up the NFL. Falcons general manager Terry Fontano has dropped some game-changing news, and it's causing a buzz across the NFL. Let's dive into the details of this surprising update. But before we get started, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you're always up to date on Atlanta Falcons news and the latest off-season stories. Fontano recently spoke to the media after the Falcons wrapped up their season with a disappointing 8-9 record. During the press conference, he made a shocking announcement about veteran quarterback Kirk Cousins. Despite a tough season that ended with Cousins being benched, Fontano revealed that the team is comfortable keeping him on as a backup. Yes, you heard that right. Cousins might become the NFL's highest-paid backup quarterback. Last offseason, Atlanta signed Cousins to a massive 4-year, $180 million contract, expecting him to deliver elite performances. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. Cousins finished the season completing 66.9% of his passes for 3,358 yards, with 18 touchdowns and a league-high 16 interceptions. His struggles hit rock bottom when he was benched after a poor performance against the Raiders, where he threw for just 112 yards in a 15-9 win. To make matters worse, in his last 5 games, Cousins managed only 1 touchdown while throwing 9 interceptions. Meanwhile, Atlanta's rookie quarterback, Michael Penix Jr., drafted with the 8th overall pick, has been impressive. Penix has shown enough potential to earn the starting spot for the 2025 season. So, why is Cousins still on the roster? The answer lies in the financial details. If Atlanta keeps him, Cousins is set to receive a $10 million roster bonus in 2026, fully guaranteed if he remains on the team after March 16, 2025. Cutting him after June 1, 2025, would create a massive $40 million dead cap hit for that year and $25 million in 2026, with no immediate salary cap relief. Clearly, the Falcons are in a tricky situation. What will they decide? Stay tuned for more updates as this story unfolds. A costly backup or a costly mistake? Keeping Kirk Cousins as a backup with his massive salary is anything but ideal. League analysts are skeptical too. ESPN's Field Yates pointed out that there's no way the Falcons can afford a backup quarterback earning $37.5 million next season. It's hard to argue with that. Paying such a high price for a backup would be a major blow to a team still trying to rebuild its defense. At the core of this situation is whether the Falcons are ready to admit their mistake. Cousins was brought in with high expectations, but it's clear the plan didn't work out. Moving on from him, even with the heavy financial hit, might be the smartest decision for the team's future, especially with rookie Michael Penix Jr., showing he could be the franchise quarterback Atlanta needs. Now, Falcons fans, what's your take? Should the team cut ties with Cousins, absorb the financial loss, and fully commit to Penix? Or do you think Cousins is worth keeping around as a mentor despite the hefty price tag? During his end-of-season press conference, GM Terry Fontano didn't shy away from taking responsibility. Reflecting on his 4-year tenure, which includes a 29-39 record and no playoff appearances, Fontano said, "We haven't done a good enough job. I haven't done a good enough job. We haven't won enough, and that starts with me." Strong words, but Fontano remains confident about the team's future. He highlighted that 70% of the Falcons' offensive production this season came from players under 25, a league-best statistic. This young core gives hope to the fan base and reinforces the belief that brighter days might be ahead for Atlanta. The Falcons' offseason dilemma. Falcons fans, here's the challenge. Atlanta enters the offseason with just $3.96 million in cap space and only 4 draft picks, according to Over the Cap. That's a tight budget for a team with playoff aspirations. While GM Terry Fontano worked hard to clean up the franchise's cap issues in the past, last year's $90 million trade for Kirk Cousins has left the team in another financial bind. Now, some fans are questioning whether Fontano should stay. When asked about his job security, Fontano responded calmly and confidently, "I'm not worried. It doesn't come from arrogance, it comes from focus. My job is to be as effective as I can every day. I don't think about my mortality in this position. I just focus on winning." Despite the financial struggles, there are some positives. Atlanta's offensive line is mostly set for 2025, with only center Drew Dalman unsigned. Key moves like extending cornerback A.J. Terrell and signing safety Jesse Bates III have been successful. But let's face it, the defense remains a weak spot. None of the Falcons' 5 defensive draft picks started a game this season, which is a glaring issue for a team trying to build a balanced roster. Fontano remains optimistic, emphasizing the young offensive core led by quarterback Michael Penix Jr., running back Bijan Robinson, and wide receiver Drake London as reasons for hope. But even he admits that words aren't enough. At the end of the day, we haven't won enough. We have to evaluate every aspect of what we're doing. The most important stat is wins and losses. So, Falcons fans, what do you think? Is Fontano still the right leader for this team, or is it time for Atlanta to start fresh? Share your thoughts below. A roller coaster season for Raheem Morris. First-year head coach Raheem Morris had a season full of ups and downs. After starting strong at 6-3, the Falcons stumbled to an 8-9 finish, missing the playoffs yet again, even though they had the talent to win the NFC South. The team's defensive struggles were glaring and need to be addressed if Atlanta wants to contend in 2025. Morris himself seems to recognize the need for change, and all eyes are on defensive coordinator Jimmy Lake. Lake, who followed Morris from the Rams, has faced heavy criticism. The defense has struggled to generate consistent pressure on opposing quarterbacks and has been plagued by poor tackling. If the Falcons want to turn things around, the defensive issues must be fixed, and fast. Defensive woes. Is it time for a change? Blown coverages and costly mistakes have plagued the Falcons' defense this season, turning several winnable games into frustrating losses. According to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, there's growing speculation that defensive coordinator Jimmy Lake might be on his way out after just one season. It's clear the Falcons need an overhaul, but will head coach Raheem Morris make the move? If a change does happen, there are some intriguing defensive minds available. Ryan Nealon, formerly with the Jaguars and most recently in Atlanta, could be a natural fit. Other names like Jeff Ulbrich, who served as the Jets' interim head coach and defensive coordinator, also have ties to Morris. Then there are proven veterans like Lou Anarumo, Gus Bradley, Matt Eberflus, and Robert Saleh, all of whom bring respected NFL experience and the ability to instill discipline and deliver results. But let's get real. Falcons fans, this isn't just about hiring a new coach. The defensive issues run deeper than one person. Atlanta has plenty of talent on the roster, with standouts like A.J. Terrell, Jesse Bates III, and Arnold Ebiketie, yet the results haven't matched the potential. The Falcons fan base is tired of mediocrity. If Atlanta wants to break its playoff drought, it hasn't made the postseason since 2017. Changes must happen. Arthur Blank and the front office need to prove they're serious about building a winning team. Whether it's replacing Lake or completely revamping the defense, action is needed now. The Falcons have been here before, close, but not quite there. In 1997 and 2015, they just missed, only to bounce back with standout seasons in 1998 and 2016. Could 2025 be the year they turn things around? We want to hear from you. Should the Falcons part ways with Jimmy Lake? Who do you think should take over the defense? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the latest Falcons news and analysis. Rise up and go Falcons!